Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our show, the NFL show with Brian and Dr. Moby. How is everybody? I hope they had great Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody had great turkey. How about you, Brian?
Really good. Yep. I ordered Kelly Bronze turkey this year. First time ever trying it. It turned out fantastic. So definitely going to do it again next year.
So you didn't have to cook?
No, I cooked. So basically, it's a turkey farm down in Southern Virginia. They raise the turkeys from like hatchlings.
Oh.
It's a long process.
Oh, it's a long one.
But it's very good.
Okay.
Very good.
So tell me, was that turkey, did you have to get big bird or kind of a smaller?
Smaller. I think it was 13 pounds. It was just me, my wife, and my mother-in-law and father-in-law came up. So that was it.
So that's it.
So
That's
very
great.
small.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, a lot of people actually smaller turkey bird tastes better than big.
I think so. Yeah. More tender.
Yeah, more tender.
Less dry.
So I hope everybody had a great time, and you know, we're still looking forward to hear from you all. So let's catch up for there was a big week.
Yeah.
A lot of games.
Yeah, 3 Thanksgiving games were on slate for last week. Pittsburgh, Baltimore got pushed till actually last night, and we'll start with that game. Pittsburgh gets the win. It was kind of a sloppy game. RG3 threw a pick 6, but I think it was like 19-14 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 94.
So,
But I watched it, and you know, I got a text from my friend who's also Steelers, and he said, "Look, we are in playoffs." I said, "What?" I think so.
yeah, they can pretty much mathematically they'll clinch a spot next week with a win, and they could potentially clinch the division next week as well. So.
Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah.
So how about I know I'm sorry for Michelle about Philly's loss.
Yeah, Philadelphia, they're struggling pretty mightily this year. They, hosted Seattle the other night, and Seattle pretty much it wasn't even that close of a game. Seattle pretty much controlled that game from the outset, and Philly loses another. I think this is like 3 in a row. This division is way up in the air. So I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about Giants winning, but I don't know. I think maybe the Redskins have, or the Washington football team has the inside track on that division. So. And that last week it was another game, Washington and Dallas. Washington pretty much dominated Dallas in that game, and they won on Thanksgiving. Did you have those guys, or?
No, I didn't, and I was stunned that they came back and won it. So
Yeah, they won pretty good. It was close up until mid-third quarter, and then they kind of blew the game open. But I was lucky enough to pick Washington. Houston and Detroit. I picked Houston. That was another Thanksgiving game. Houston pretty much won that game pretty easy as well. Detroit's struggling. I think they fired their coach after the
Oh, did they?
coach and GM.
So let's apply there. Huh?
Yep, lots of coaching vacancies already. I
Yes,
think
sir.
more to come probably in Philadelphia as well. So
And we are available. Both are. Anytime anybody needs coach.
yeah, I'll take that money for sure.
So
And then Miami and the Jets. I picked Miami. They won pretty handily. Jets are winless, and that's probably Adam Gase. I'm not sure how he's still coaching the Jets, so there'll be another job
Oh, okay.
open. So.
Yeah, I keep looking at. I say I've sent my CV and resume, and I say, I played. I can do a lot of media things.
Yeah, right. Media relations.
Media relations, and that's important.
A game that shocked me, Arizona and New England. New England somehow pulls out a win there. I think they're actually like 5-6 right now. New England still kind of lingering around for the playoffs. I'm not sure it'll happen, but I don't know. Belichick found a way last week to beat Arizona.
Yeah, I was surprised because
Oh,
I picked mine too, but then I lost it. So.
And then Carolina, Minnesota. Minnesota ended up getting the win.
Yeah.
Carolina, it was a close game. I think Minnesota won by I think it was a field goal last week. I don't have the score in front of me, but I know Minnesota won. I picked them, but it was a good game. And then my Browns.
They lost. Huh?
No, they won.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they barely beat Jacksonville.
Oh no! I thought that
27-25 they won.
I thought I was probably watching till the end, and I said, "Oh my God, they're gonna lose."
Nope, they won. They pulled it out.
Wow.
The old Browns would have lost that game for sure. They would have lost that game last year. And then a game that kind of shocked me, Tennessee dominates Indy in Indianapolis. So Tennessee's kind of got that a game lead in that division. And then we had the Giants and Cincinnati. Giants get the win, but their quarterback pulls a hamstring. So I'm not sure if he's even playing this week. But and obviously Cincinnati lost Joe Burrow for the year. I think he's due to have his surgery, but Cincinnati's probably going to struggle the rest of the year. And then you had the Chargers versus the Bills. The Bills get a win. It was a pretty good game.
Yeah, I had Bills picked.
Yeah, I picked the Bills. Joey Bosa had a really good game for the Chargers. I think he had a couple sacks. And then we had Las Vegas at Atlanta, which was a pretty much I would consider a major upset. Atlanta crushed. I think it was like 41-6. Beat the Raiders. Raiders were kind of well, they still are. I mean, they're a game out of the playoff picture, but I think everybody was kind of shocked about the Raiders laying an egg there.
Yeah, I know.
And then San Francisco goes into the Rams' house and gets a win. I mean, somehow Kyle Shanahan's getting that team to play pretty good week in, week out without Garoppolo and a lot of defensive players. So with a lot of injuries, San Francisco's still hanging around as well. New Orleans versus Denver, which was probably the oddest game I think I've seen in my lifetime. Denver played with no quarterback. Every one of them COVID. So I think the guy completed 1 of 9 passes. Yeah, that game was over from the start, to say the least. And then Kansas City, Tampa Bay was ended up being a closer game than it started. Kansas City wins. Mahomes and Tyreek Hill lit it up last week. I think you picked KC as well, right?
Yeah, KC. And I think, a lot of press was after Tom Brady saying, he stayed to shake hands with Mahomes.
Yep.
That was nice, I think, Tom Brady.
I think they made a story about he picks and chooses who he'll shake hands with. Obviously, he did with Mahomes, so I guess he likes Mahomes, or I don't know what his reasoning is, but yep, that was a small storyline after the game. Yeah. Chicago, Green Bay. Green Bay wins. Chicago's struggling pretty well. I think Trubisky played for the injured Nick Foles, and he didn't play too well. That's another coaching situation there to keep your eye on, because I think he'll end up probably losing his job as well. And then our game we mentioned a little bit earlier, Seattle, Philadelphia, the Monday night game this week. Seattle, goes into Philly and wins that game pretty easily.
So Seattle. So that was Seattle was. I think they're gonna do well. I think they'll be definitely.
Yeah.
So
I think they'll win that division.
So let's talk about then this game, and then we'll have a few minutes to talk about the picture. Going forward. So.
So this division, again, we've said it on shows past. I think 2 weeks ago we were saying how we thought the Giants were going to take a step forward to win that division, but it's kind of now, I think, looking like maybe Washington, but trying to look at their schedules, I think Philadelphia has the hardest remaining schedule, and I think the Giants potentially have the easiest. I think the Giants have Cincinnati this week, but I think between Washington and the Giants, I don't think Dallas has a shot. I think they still have to play. Them and Philly have the harder of the 4. So
you think the Washington has probably best chance?
I would say. I mean, they're playing really well. They ran the ball really well against Dallas last week. Their defense, their front 7 is really stout, and Alex Smith, has been playing actually pretty well for the last 2 games. So
yeah, and a lot of stories about and kudos to Alex Smith. With all that injuries, he came back. I mean, that's that would be really a feel-good story of NFL.
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna be like everybody's story. Fighting.
If they make it into the playoffs, that'd definitely be a really, really good story. For sure.
And a lot of people probably will. Can correlate, and because we all are actually struggling at our ends, and we see such a story, we all feel we are part of it. So I think that I hope they do reach. I hope they win.
Yeah, I'm kind of rooting for him. Kind of, after as rough of time he had going through the post-surgery, almost lost his leg, almost died.
Yeah.
It's hard not to root for him. So.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But looking forward to this week. Week 13 or 15 or whatever it is. I've lost track. Some big games. My Browns go to Tennessee. Both are 8-3. We got a rough couple of games coming up. We play Tennessee this week and then Baltimore next week. But I'm going to have, as bad as it pains me, I'm going to have to pick Tennessee in this one.
Oh, so. Okay. Yeah, I think probably I would go with Tennessee too. But Baltimore, I think they can beat.
We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping they can get one of these two games. If they can win this week in Tennessee, I think things are looking pretty good, but we'll see. And then Las Vegas, we'll see if they can come back after their flop last week in Atlanta. They got the Jets. The Jets haven't won a game. I mean, I'm pretty confident that the Raiders will win this game, but that's who I'm going to go with is the Raiders.
Raiders? Okay. Yeah, Jets are, no, I don't think they're going to.
They haven't won a game this year. I don't see them beating Las Vegas, but
yeah,
we'll see what Raiders team shows up. If the one last week shows up, they have a chance to beat them. And then Jacksonville, they're on like a 9-game losing streak. They go to Minnesota. I think Minnesota gets that win. Who do you have there?
I think Minnesota probably will win.
And then Cincinnati at Miami. I think Miami will get the win. They're unsure of who's going to start at quarterback. I think Tagovailoa has an injured thumb. So I don't know if Fitzpatrick will play or who's going to play, but I still think Miami will win.
Miami, yeah, so. I think so.
And then divisional game, Indy is going to Houston. Houston's been playing a lot better as of late, but I think Indy will bounce back and get the win in Houston.
Okay, but you don't think Houston can pull off?
No, I do. I mean, I think it's going to be a good game.
You take Indy?
I'm going to take Indy.
Okay, I'll take Houston.
So it's going to be, I think it'll be a really good game.
Okay.
Another divisional game, but these two teams are pretty much struggling. It's Detroit and Chicago. You have to pick one of them, so I'm going to go with Chicago. So.
Yeah, but Detroit, they played well last week,
Well, I mean, Houston, I think beat them pretty good. Matt Stafford played okay. I think he's got a throwing thumb hand injury as well.
So I'll go with Chicago then.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago, but that game I think could go either way. So this one again, this next game, it's another divisional game. NFC, New Orleans at Atlanta. I think Drew Brees is out again. I almost picked Atlanta. My gut was like kind of wanting me to go with Atlanta, but every time I do that, they end up losing. So I went with New Orleans, but I see this game could go either way as well.
Okay.
So Atlanta played a really good game last week. Raheem Morris has been getting that team ready to play. So. And then I think this one is an easy pick for me. Giants have to go to Seattle, and I think Seattle will get that victory. Another divisional game. This is going to be again, I think one that could go either way. The Rams go to Arizona. Both teams had losses last week. I'm going to pick the Rams, but I could see it going Arizona's way.
Yeah, I think I'd take Arizona.
New England's going to play the Chargers. New England gets the big win last week against Arizona.
So they'll probably win.
So I'm going to pick them this week. We'll see. I mean, the Chargers are a young team that's, playing pretty well, but I'm still going to go with Bill Belichick in this one. And then Philly, Green Bay. This is pretty easy for me. I think Green Bay is going to win. I don't think any team in the NFC East is going to win this week, so that division winner could, realistically, if you win 5 games, that could win the division. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure everybody in the East division would love to be in there.
It's going to be, those last few weeks in that division are going to be very interesting. Even though it's really a terrible division, I think it's still going to be interesting to see who ends up pulling that division out. And then I think an easy game here, Denver is going to Kansas City. I'm going to pick Kansas City. We just said about the NFC East, Dallas is going to Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson to be back. Baltimore should be at full strength. I'll pick Baltimore in that one.
Mhm.
And this one, believe it or not, is kind of intriguing to me because Washington defense has been playing so well. They can stop the run. They put pressure on a quarterback, and they're playing Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh looked a little rusty last night. I'm going with Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
but
I don't think-
I think this game could be a little closer than people think.
well, it'll be closer, but I don't think they will.
No, I don't think they'll lose, but
They-
I think it'll be closer than a lot of people are thinking that game will be.
I mean, I hope. Steelers are mine, but I have a feeling they're gonna win. I mean, it's hard to beat them.
Yeah, they're 11-0, so to go undefeated, it's tough. But I think, I picked them to win this week. No, I think they'll go 12-0, but I think that game is going to be closer than people think.
Yeah.
And then another good game this week. Buffalo is playing San Francisco. San Francisco is playing their home games now in Arizona because the county that they lived in wouldn't allow any contact sport activity, so they were forced to basically transport their team. They've been practicing in Arizona. They're going to play their home games in Arizona. So, but I'm going to go with Buffalo, even though they got to go out, to the west. I think Buffalo will get the win.
Yeah. So I think definitely they're gonna, Buffalo is going to do well for sure. Looks like they played well last week too.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about some situation on the divisions and what do you think?
Well, in my Browns AFC North, it looks like the Steelers easily will win that division, and then there could be Cleveland and Baltimore maybe get a wild card. It all depends on these last 5 games, how the season will play out. I know this week we have, Tennessee. Next week is Baltimore. I haven't looked at any other teams. I've been trying not to look ahead at the schedule. I'm taking it 1 week at a time. I'm a Browns fan that's used to getting burnt. So I know we got Tennessee next week. I'm hoping they can maintain and get their first playoff since 2002. So it's been a long time.
Well, they deserve it, and I hope they do. I mean, I wish Michelle was happy too, but I think
She may be. Again, this NFC East division.
But they might lose. Washington might lose this week.
You never know.
And then if Philly, I don't think they'll win.
I don't think they will. But
you never
right
know.
now they're only a game back, and I think they
But
do.
you never know.
And I think their last 2 games are Washington, Dallas. So if they could win those 2 games and get the 5 wins with that 1 tie, that could propel them to the division. But the way they've been playing, my money's not on them right now. I've been flipping back and forth week to week on this division, but right now I'd say the Washington football team has the inside track, but that could change. Who knows? This division's crazy.
Yeah, this is. So what about then? You think somebody who will be the wild card in NFC?
Well, NFC. It's the Arizona Rams. You got
Minnesota.
teams,
You think?
Minnesota maybe.
But Green Bay will be winning.
Green Bay will be the division winner there.
Okay, and then who will be?
You're looking at New Orleans and Tampa Bay. One of those guys will win that division. The other will probably be a wild card. I think there's 3 wild cards this year. These are the last 5 weeks. Look at Indy and Tennessee, that division. One of those teams probably will be a wild card depending on. But these last 5 games are huge.
Yeah,
so
they are huge and a
Raiders
lot of
are looking to
interest.
get there and
To me, NFC, is always. Some of them are. Green Bay is always there, and there are some teams you can always bet on them; they'll be there.
Seattle looks like they have the inside track right now to win that division. But then you got Arizona. They could potentially, get in. San Francisco's still alive. I'm not saying that they'll make it, but it's right now. It's who knows.
Who knows exactly? So that's pretty good. So I would love to hear from everybody. So if they have a chance to kind of give us their thoughts and their picks, and let's see if they can beat us. But I think so far I'm not doing so hot this year.
Yeah, I think I won 10 games last week, and our winner was Mike with
Yeah.
12 this week. So I just want to try to get one of those weeks and
Be
pay for
done.
the season. So
Yeah,
that would be
you're
nice.
That would be nice.
So far, I mean, out of our old crew, Mike's got a win, and Greg has a win, and you and I.
We just, for some reason, I usually peak about this time. This is usually all these years. I always win about 13th, 14th, 15th week, and then I never win in less than 10. I don't know why, but that's
Yeah.
always been.
I had a really bad week 2 weeks ago. I won 4 games. That about killed me. That was a bad week. So
So I think let's hope and let's see if. So we love to hear from, and I'm sure everybody is getting ready to buy gifts for Christmas.
around the corner.
Yeah, around the corner, shopping started, and I'm sure you can send me and Brian anytime gifts. We don't
That's
mind
right.
taking, right?
Yep. You can definitely send us all the wings you want to send us.
We love to actually have food. If anybody has recipe, send us. So we'd love to check that out and make it, maybe, right? Barbecue. So that would be great. So I think with that, we'll thank you for watching our show and give us feedback. And Brian, any final thoughts you have for audience?
No, just a few games this week. Obviously, Tennessee and Cleveland. I was watching NFL Network earlier, and they were saying that could be, potential January. They could see each other again. But I'm, got my fingers crossed for my Browns. And again, like I said, I'm always kind of watching that NFC East to see who's going to end up, kind of pulling that out. So I'm going to be watching, those games to see if one of those teams can upset somebody this week,
Yeah.
So,
Okay, with that, thank you for watching our show. Take care.
thank you.
Thank you.